Host Emelina Calder. We got some good sunshine here today. In today's video, I'm going to take you through a sacred energy reading and update for the first week of July. Here we go, July, start of summer. All right, for those of you that are new, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss any energy updates or awesome sauce videos I got. My name is Emelina Calder. I am a cosmic shaman and AKASHIC records reader, practitioner, a psychic medium, and what I would call a high performance coach. I do life coaching and business coaching, but all of it is done through channeling your soul. I guide everyone I work with to trust themselves, understand their own intuitive connection, who they are, and to be able to make really secure, positive, aligned decisions with clarity and ease and grace, and to know what is right for them with supreme confidence in any moment. Hello to everyone that pops in and sees this video now and later. I appreciate all of you. What else do I want to say? It's so funny when you don't have a script, right? Also, I just published the Twin Flame free video training, all right? There are like 11 or 12 videos that I really think you guys are gonna love, explaining twin flame relationships, soulmate relationships, karmic relationships, human relationships, everything in between, what the deal is with soulmates, my experience with it, and my channel. It's free. I really think you're gonna love it. You can go grab that in the description link below. And also ahead of time, any of you that want intuitive sessions or readings with me, want to explore coaching with me, or want to commission me to make you a soul talisman painting, I have my email in the link below as well. So you can get a hold of me there and we can chat it out. All right, my friends. It has been a day. I'm just going to center myself here. I've got my higher soul aspects with me currently and some other guides. So I guess we'll just jump right in. I think I'm going to ask them for 3 themes for the week, whatever we most need to know to navigate through these energy waves and create a life that we really love and enjoy. All right. And on your time, you can kind of sit down, sit in and ground with me. You're welcome to close the window of your eyes. Get seated in a nice comfortable position, and then drop a nice easy grounding cord from your root chakra, from the base of your spine all the way down to the center of Earth's core. I like to see like a nice 4 to 5 inch hollow grounding cord that's like silver in color. And then anything that's gone on in your day or your week that you're struggling with, that is providing you some level of conflict or indecision, anything that's going on in your arc field that feels like chatter. It can look like white noise. It can just look like a mess. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Just kind of take your conscious attention and awareness and ask your higher guides to step in and just sweep up anything going on in your arc field that is creating any level of mess or cloudiness. We want clarity and precision this week. That's coming through really clearly. And just set the intention that anything that is no longer of service to you, any interference, any white noise, is grounded out, tossed in this like garbage chute of the grounding cord all the way down to the center of Earth's core. And Earth is just like the best trash compactor there is for weird energy. And then you can consciously just bring your attention to you might not even know what this is consciously, but any habitual lingering thought patterns that run on cycles for you in the background of your mind that are keeping you stuck in karmic cycles and karmic loops, which is simply just saying behaviors of pattern and ways of thinking or ways of moving in your world that are not congruent with your highest self, that don't vibe well with you. Things that just keep you stuck. They keep you in holding patterns. And let's take all of that consciously, just bring your attention to it, just the intention is enough, and toss that down into the grounding cord, sending it all the way down to Earth's core. Now, I'm just going to tell you guys what's coming through for me, what I'm seeing, whether or not you see it. But they're showing me you're being brought, I almost want to say new guidance, but it's a very fifth dimensional fairy guidance. Like I'm seeing teal and green being coded in your fields, like teal and green sparkly light, which is it's a healing light. It's a heart chakra activation. Now I'm seeing some pixies and I'm seeing some fairies. That may or may not happen for you. Maybe you'll see some other guides. I'm also seeing a lion. It's got kind of a jungle vibe, or a tiger, I mean, rather. Maybe some of you are seeing lions. Let me ask I don't even know if I need to know what this is, but this is the visualization technique they're taking us through today, so we're here for it. It's a higher heart system, higher thalamus upgrade, is what I'm being told, to help you make more clear decisions from the place of who you are authentically, not who you were told you are, if that makes sense. So it's the difference between the false self and the real self. And this energy field, that should you want it, if you're available to it, it will be given to you as a transmission, is allowing you to identify your own energy with your real self without the masks, so that you can make clear decisions that are in your highest good to move forward. As you make those decisions from a place of clarity, from the real self, not the false self, which is like the masked version of you that you were taught to be, it's actually creating a natural protective barrier between anyone that would try to interfere with like you and God's plans. Essentially, anything that is raw and authentically you, when you make decisions from that place, you are completely protected energetically, emotionally. You're protected by your own vitality, your own energy, your own higher aspects, your higher self, right? What else do we need to know about this? If you guys feel guided after this video, or whenever you see this, you can pause it and hang out with it. This meditation is a higher heart activation. They keep showing me like an emerald green and then a pale green kind of swirling around your energy fields in like an orb. And there is a lot of fairy presence. So you can sit and meditate with that for like 10 minutes and just kind of feel what the transmission is. Set the intention that it's in your highest good and that your higher self is running the transmission. And just hang out with it. I think there's going to be something new and different for each and every one of you within that. I don't know what it is. I'm not privy to it, but I'm seeing a lot of fairies. So enjoy that. All right, what else do we have here for this week coming up? They keep showing me this jungle and a tiger. Can you explain that a little bit more? Okay, so let me break this down. You're learning boots on the ground instead of higher aspects. It's bringing the higher aspects into your humanity. You're learning how to automatically and almost subconsciously be able to identify danger, to just steer away from it. You're learning how to make rapid and swift, concrete decisions that you trust in yourself to make, and even doesn't say that, it's a throat clearing. You're probably going to be speaking those decisions into place actually because of that throat clearing. It looks like there's an open path too. All right, I'm going to pull some cards because they just keep showing me the jungle, but I'm not getting like words or phrases behind it. Welcome to the jungle. Anything that you think about that phrase is the message. Welcome to the jungle. They're specifically not giving me a message around it because I am being trained by my higher self to train you guys to trust your own intuition as well. Whatever message you get behind that phrase right now is your message. Welcome to the jungle. Whatever dangers you might think of are the dangers. Whatever opportunities you might think of are the opportunities. Whatever adventurous spirit steps forward, whatever character you want to create within yourself on this adventure video game is the right way. Wherever you're led or guided. Whatever animal guides you want to pull in are going to be your guides through this chapter. It's not just this week. They're running a simulation through me right now. That's what's happening. This simulation is here for a much larger reason that I don't know that I understand, if I can be totally honest with you guys, nor is my ego so big right now that I need to try to find out why. They're running a simulation for you. Trust. Trust. This is very funny. What are you guys doing here? What are we doing here? Hold on, what do you mean, you guys? All right, I'm gonna flow of consciousness. They said let the cat out of the bag. I don't know exactly what that means, but we're gonna find out. The first card that came out is the Don Juan card. So I'm gonna read this and sit with it and see what this message is that comes through. Don Juan. Oh, it's fun. Okay, I thought this was gonna go in a different direction. Can we replace the word seductive though? Hold on. I have issues with the word seductive. So let me think if I can find something that feels a little lighter, and then I'm gonna explain this through. And thank you guys for being patient here with me. My channels are always a little bit different. Hi, Dylan. Depending on my ascension work, what I'm going through, my guidance is always moving me through different sorts of guidance. And today, this was a very different flow sort of channel for me, and I knew that kind of coming into this, and they wouldn't give me information ahead. Sometimes my mind really likes knowing things ahead, and by sometimes, I mean a lot of times, and they just don't often give it to me anymore. I'm in a different simulation training program. Okay, tell me a little bit more about this Don Juan card for this first week of July. Give me a little bit more, Spirit. Give me more clarity. Spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. Now, on the card are dancing partners. Okay, got it. On the card are dancing partners, and they're moving from their heart space, okay? There's a heart in the middle, like the energy between them that's being channeled through in the attraction. Don Juan usually has a really like negative, Casanova like sort of connotation where at the collective level, this is seen as the player card. I'm not getting that message from this. This is not about being a player. This is about realizing that you get to choose with everything that you dance with, whoever is your dance partner, whatever is your dance partner as you go into this jungle. You get to choose whether you trust love or whether you trust fear. Every movement you make, whether it's talking to colleagues, whether it is dating, whether it is chatting with family members, resolving disagreements, whatever it is, okay, any relationship interaction. This card infers relationship. There are two people, they're interacting, they're dancing. It's about coming from the heart space and understanding. I gotta vibe in this a little bit. Hold on. Is this specifically romantic? Yes and no. All right, I'll leave that up for your interpretation. Yes and no. But specifically, this has everything to do with how you engage in relationship with others around you. Are you trusting in love or are you trusting in fear? Are you trusting your power of your own magnetism of your heart to be loved, to attract the best circumstance or scenario or outcome, no matter who is in front of you. These could even be like enemies, okay? Like whoever your dance partner is. Whoever is in front of you, whoever you're dealing with is your dance partner, all right? Romantic or not. So then the question is, do you trust that dance partner? And if you don't trust that dance partner, it's not that it's not okay, but you're not going to dance very fun. It's not going to be very sweet. You know, even if you don't like them, it's like, can you place your trust in your heart and in God or source or infinite intelligence's ability to communicate through your heart and alchemize the room through your own love space, through the magnetism of the heart? They're telling me to tell you guys, like when I walk into a room, the room changes. And I'm not the only one that has that ability. Like I see it all the time. I'm not gonna lie, it weirds me out a little bit. And I try to like hide sometimes because it's a little confronting for me. But when you walk into a room, your heart enters the room before you. Your auric field enters the room before you, no matter what that room is, whether there's 2 people or 100 people in it. And depending on the strength of your faith in love, in yourself, in your heart space, will depend on how the entire room is alchemized. That alchemy is allowing infinite intelligence to take over your heart. This is the sacred heart. And to change the outcome for everyone in the room that day. You likely will not know what those things are. But there is a difference when you are a high vibrational human, an earth angel. I know I've got a lot of you following me actually. When you walk into a room, that room is better off. Everyone in that room is better off because you stepped into the room today, because you're breathing today, because your energy is available today, because as you breathe, you are effortlessly loving. I know there's a lot of you on my channel like this. Like when you're entering a room, you don't even know you're doing it. That's this Don Juan quality. That's this like seductive attraction. They told me let the cat out of the bag. This is what's coming up next. Clearly, I just need to confront this as well. A lot of people that come across me find me to be very seductive, like sensually attractive. And I'm never like trying or doing anything to attract that. The reason why they're saying this is because most people misinterpret or miscategorize true love and faith, God source in the heart space as sex appeal. And that is because our culture has been trained to see love as sex. They are not synonymous. They are different frequencies. And it almost like cuts you off to source connection thinking that way, because then you think you need another human and you have to sexualize them in order to receive love. And that's just like not true. It's just not. Where else do you guys want me to go with this? Love is naturally seductive. It's naturally, if you think about seduction, it's naturally magnetizing. It's naturally powerful. It's naturally addictive. I hear from a lot of people, my energy is very addictive, and I'm like, well, it's just source. Like, of course, source energy is addictive. Like, it's like, come back. Like, what? I guess fear is addictive too. It's just like, which side do you want to be on? But the more you tune into, where do you guys want to take me? What's like the most important here? Watch your effect on people when you are in love in your heart. When you walk into a room, when you walk into a conversation, from the place of having no agenda, not manipulating anything, not holding anything back, being open, clear, transparent, and honest based on whatever the moment asks you to do. That means when you feel something weird in your body or in your throat and you feel like you should say something, say it. Trust yourself. Say it. You have no idea, each and every one of you, just how much power you have when you say one of those things that the other person had to hear, that they needed to hear in order to access the level of healing so that they can move on to whatever the hell it is they're moving on to. It's not your job to attach to it, to understand the outcome, or to be like, I did this for this person. It's like, no. This love is you being able to move through the flow of source consciousness in any moment. If you're getting an impulse to express, and I'm going to assume you're mature about it. If you're getting an impulse to express, in this scenario, it's better to express yourself than to hold back. Especially if you're coming from your heart, and especially if you have a solid source connection. Because that expression isn't just coming from you, it's coming from source within you. Source is saying, when you have the impulse to express, source is saying in the moment, there's a need right now. It's an unspoken need between you and others. It can't be seen, but the reason why you're being given that impulse to express is because somebody else is given an impulse for a need that needs to be filled. Or you have a need that needs to be filled and you need to set a boundary for said need or whatever it is. So trust your expression. Trust your magnetism. Observe your magnetism. Observe your charisma when you walk into a room for the next week, when you walk into any room, when you're around any level of people, when you're walking down the sidewalk. Observe how people interact with you and your energy. Whether they're talking to you, whether they're just walking by, whether they make eye contact, whether they don't, what sort of eye contact they make, etc. Like, they're showing me, I don't know if this message is mostly for women, not necessarily. They're showing me just a lot of us have our heads down and we're in our own worlds and we don't realize how the world interacts with us. And that if you could have enough awareness through this week, this is the simulation, okay, of walking through the jungle, you're gonna start accessing your higher states of awareness, and even like some psychic gifts that might open up for you in a safe way, that start to show you the information that you haven't been focused on, but maybe that you've needed in order to navigate a little more successfully through your life. Like if you're walking through the jungle and let's say you're reading a book, like you're really focused on like one thing, just one thing, whatever that is. Maybe it's just making money. I'm so focused on making money, okay? I have to make money, whatever it is. That tends to be the human thing, right? Making money or soulmate love. I feel like those are a career, which is really just making money. Like that's like, those are the human things. If you're so focused on that, you could be missing the fact that like there are poison arrow darts going over there, like there's a tiger over here. Like what sort of dangers are you walking around? And then it's like also what sort of opportunities are there? Maybe that tree has a lot of sustenance for you that could give you food for the next year. Like, I don't know, like things you're walking around. Their point is just start to pick your head up in observance. This is a channel, a transmission that your higher self is going to facilitate to start to help bring your conscious attention and awareness to what's going on around you. This is really like tuning into psychically to your environment in any now moment, getting very present and understanding how your heart energy, how your magnetism that comes from the heart is changing people around you, changing circumstances around you, interacting with people and circumstances around you, and what it's attracting. And as you pick your head up and look around and start to observe this more, you'll realize just how much you actually manifest. That's what they're showing me. Is you're going to see like immediate things that are being manifested, immediate things that are being reflected, what's coming back to you, what's happening, what do people think about you, what are they projecting at you. It's all very, I don't know, precise information and feedback for you to understand exactly where you are on your journey so that you can make some fast adjustments to your energy. It's almost like they're saying too, because they gave me the 8 of coins, which is normally like a work card, but this card is overworking. This is like work addiction. which is what I say. It's like this over focus on money. And then this is the Magician card. It's all about manifesting your reality, like tapping into your own power. These were all with the Don Juan. So it's like, if you're overworking, over-focused on the material, you don't pick your head up and know exactly what it is you're attracting and how. The power of the Magician lies in your own hands. The power to manifest lies in your heart. It lies in how you love. It lies in your seductive qualities, your magnetism. When you walk into a room, how are you affecting that room? What are you changing? What's not changing? How is the room better because you're in it? And then that's going to allow you to be able to tap into new opportunities and things that you can't see. A lot of those opportunities are energies, and those energies or awareness are brought to your mind when you're available for them. That's what this whole simulation is for you guys. Now, how do I break that down again? Because I feel like I'm being led to do that. This has to do with how you manifest. So a lot of you are, you're struggling, man. You're struggling to manifest what you need when really, like, she's got a magic wand. You just like allow the universe to do the work for you. But what's going to be required is you not focused on struggling, and you focused on the attention of what makes you you, how you are moving through this world. They're dancing, they're moving, they're on music. What's your rhythm, right? What's your flow? This is addressing the root chakra. It's pretty much exactly what I'm saying. It's like, how do you manifest in the material plane? How do you create money for yourself? How do you create career opportunities? How do you create good relationships? What are you manifesting and why? Now, the shadow attribute for the Don Juan card is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So the key here is to love without an agenda. And to allow the universe, allow source to love you without an agenda. Allow you to see your own power. Okay, how are we on timing too? 27, perfecto. What else do you guys want to send through? Funny channel, you guys. Theme number 2 is choose your own adventure. So they give me the blank card. This is where you get to identify your own light trait and your own shadow trait. The Advocate came right behind that. If you guys saw the channel I did on your higher potential this last week, this is like the cash money card. That's like all I see from it, is like being able to create material things in your life, build a legacy, build wealth, in a way that comes from your heart, something that you actually want to do, that feeds you, being able to advocate for yourself, for your needs, for your desires. The Advocate inspires you to put compassion into action. So again, that's moving from your heart space. If you can identify this like simulation idea of you walking into a room and seeing how you change that room subtly, energetically, emotionally, fairly immediately, then you can also understand the same leverage or power in the heart space that you can use to start moving your ideas into action, so that you can create a life that really lights you up. Like, that's so freaking magical. I don't know how else to say it. You know, everybody says like life of your dreams. The life of your dreams isn't created overnight, you know? Like, you gotta do this shit every day. So it's like creating the life of your dreams every day, every day, every day, making it a habit. Then what came out right behind that was the Liberator, the Lover, and the Virgin. So freeing yourself and others from out-modeled beliefs and releasing negative thought patterns. Your attention this week is going to be really brought to your habits. What habits are working for you at the physical level? What aren't? What bad habits you got? Make a whole list of bad habits and swap them out for new habits, all right? And it's generally harder to kick a habit than it is to replace a habit. So if you like drinking soda and you want to stop drinking soda, replace soda with seltzer. Something like that. That's something to think about. Okay, that's just a quick example. You guys are leading the way. She is holding a torch. She's in white, which is purity, which furthers the virgin card. This is the virginity of the heart. It's the sacred heart. It's the heart. It's God's heart, okay? It's like, I always try to describe the sacred heart. Source works through you, through your sacred heart. That heart is the torch. It's leading the way. I think you guys are going to see this week, just in your own perception and observation, that when you do walk into a room, that people do change. And that people do look, and they communicate something when they look at you. They make eye contact, they acknowledge you in whatever way they do or don't. They are communicating a lot of energy to you. That energy is a reflection of what you're carrying into that room. You need to know that. For what reason? I don't know exactly, but I know you need to know. So the next card is the Lover. I would say this is passion for the self. Normally, the Lover in the tarot has two people on it. It normally dictates a choice that has to be made, or it's love between two parties. It's also the Gemini card. This one is one lover. There's one on here. She's got a big heart with flowers, and she's like all by her onesie. So this is like self-love, self-compassion. The Virgin is a virgin, like they're by themselves, okay? So this is like, how are you working within this sacred space within your heart? How are you, I don't just want to call it self-care, because it's not just self-care. How are you really diving deeply into your own self-love practice? What can that look like? I will tell you straight off the bat, my biggest self-love practice right now is setting boundaries with men. It's like my primary practice right now. I'm just like, what else you got? Oh, here's another boundary for you. No, you're not allowed to talk to me that way. Oh, there's another boundary. Oh, okay, were you being entitled? Get out. Like, this is just like, I don't know, that's coming through loud and clear. They told me to be very open in my channel today. So self-love looks different for different people. For me, self-love, deep self-love for myself looks like holding that space for me to say things that other people might not like that I'm going to say, for me to reflect their shadows back to them and not take responsibility for it, for me to allow them to think whatever they want to think about me, but me know who I am and that I don't need to people please anyone because I love myself. Allowing people to leave my life, allowing a quick exit, allowing new people to come in, allowing, you know, this is good. I think this is going to help a number of you. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Allowing yourself to hold back your heart is actually what I'm hearing. A lot of empaths, like I wear my heart on my sleeve typically, and I feel like most empaths do, and we don't have to. And I've never been a person to really not do that, but now I'm learning how to do it, and I'm like, wow, it feels a lot safer to not wear my heart on my sleeve. Like, how does that feel as a practice? You know, they're circling back to this jungle episode here. It's like, okay, you're walking through the jungle, like, let's call your heart the food, and you have a little platter of food. You're like walking around the jungle like, oh, I have this little platter of food, and then a tiger comes and eats it all from you. It's like, well, sometimes it's good to take some of that food, put it in a pouch, and run up a tree. I don't know, I'm just making a joke. But like, it's like, I don't know that I want to call it guarding your heart. It's just not like throwing your heart out into the crowd. It's just like, okay, like I'm going to give it a little time. I'm going to let people get to know me. I'm not going to give them everything up front. I'm not going to assume that they know me. I feel like if I'm being honest, most relationships, I think everybody's just like rushing in one way or another to like over attach in some way. Probably there's just a lot of trauma running around, right? But it's like, if you can give yourself the time and space, the self-love and self-care, to give yourself the time to allow someone to get to know you, and that does take time, or allow yourself to get to know someone else, that does take time. This isn't just romantic. This is like for anything. It's being curious in how someone shows up, what they want to show you, how they want to engage with you. Everything really is coming back down to this dance partner situation. How do I explain that? I've got so many different like emotional frequencies coming in, but I don't know if let's see if I can break this down. Everyone is showing up in any moment, meeting each other, even if they know each other, and giving over the agreements based on what they want to do, what they don't want to do, how they act, how they don't act, how they interact, what they assume. And when it comes to those agreements, a lot of them are silent, some of them are spoken, but I think we forget that we have a choice. That choice is protecting the sacred heart, the virgin in the heart. That choice is allowing yourself to love yourself fully and completely. And that choice is in any agreement, you have 3 options. You can say no. And it would behoove most of you that are empaths, when someone asks you for something, sit for just a moment. Don't respond immediately. Just give it a freaking moment of space, because empaths are quick to say yes to things because we like helping people. And actually feel in your body, is this a yes or is this a no? And if it's a no, have the courage to say no. Because when you say no, it does take courage, because you know that the other person is going to feel a rejection. So when they feel that rejection, can you hold space for that? Because you're holding space for your self-love, which is to not overextend your heart or overextend yourself to do something that you don't actually want to do. That is a high level of self-love. So they're saying no. They're saying yes after you reflect for a moment, give it a moment of space. If it is yes, say yes. And then there's negotiating. I think a lot of people forget about that. I feel like people either flop yes, no, or they do silent negotiation or hold resentment. Or you can actually, in any agreement, just renegotiate. You can say, someone asks you for something, you can be like, oh, okay, I don't think I'm ready for that, but how about this? And then they get to say yes or no, or renegotiate. I think humans make the mistake of thinking that everything is like very dualistic and very black and white. And if it's not exactly what I want, then if you don't say yes to what I want, then you must be saying no. There's nothing in between. I'm out skis. F you. At some point, I'll break some of this stuff down in dating videos. Like the more dates I go on, I'm like, wow, these agreements are real. People are very black and white. They're not my people. But it's like, it's so interesting how people think, but this will happen in your family dynamics, with colleagues, with friends. And it really comes down to yes, no, or renegotiate. And you're always entitled to renegotiate. If something doesn't feel good, renegotiate it. You don't have to say no permanently. You could say yes and, like, or like, hey, like, actually that's not quite what I want. Let me tweak it and give it back to you and say, is this something that you'd be willing to do or you'd like to do? Does this sound fun? And then run with that. Yes, no, negotiate. Okay, great. All right, spirit. I don't know that song. Welcome to the jungle. Listen to that song. That's coming in so loud right now. Welcome to the jungle. Okay. All right, there's some deception going on behind the scenes, you guys, a little sneakiness from other parties. What would I call it? Playful manipulative banter. Be aware to that. There's also a double-edged on this sword, on this card that I'm seeing right now, on the sword. This card is typically in this deck seen as the monogamy card. It is the relationship card. It's the devotion card. But they're showing me the clever as a fox. Foxes are very clever. They can be very deceptive. So that's where they brought me initially. Can you guys give me more clarity? You're learning how to discern, because a fox is a fox is a fox. Who doesn't love a fox, right? You're learning how to discern between different sorts of foxes. Like, a fox is a fun, playful animal. Depending on the moment, depending the day, the same creature could be playful in a manipulative way clever behind the scenes, running magic tricks, trying to trip you, or could be highly devoted, loyal, unwavering, and committed. That's like funny when we look at it that way. So it's like, it's a clever trickster or a commitment card. So, and they're showing me that to remind you that it's just a single animal. It's like if you had a fox in front of you, that fox could take on many of these different facets. It's important for you to be able to observe from your own heart space, as we said initially in the earlier part of the video, because you can bring out different aspects of people's patterns or behaviors, and you can see very different sides to people based on what you see and what you don't see. If you're ignoring the manipulative, clever fox, and you think this is just a committed, devoted fox, then they're going to be running a whole show behind the scenes. The same individual, the same character, the same simulation here, if you will. If you can be observant to see your effect on said fox person, be able to see how your heart interacts with them, be able to see what the agreements are, and be able to calmly see like, oh, they're clever. Oh, they're a little manipulative. Oh, they like to play some tricks, but oh, they're also devoted. Oh, they're also loyal. Like, oh, I also really want this person in my life. When you're able to see the whole picture, you're creating like a navigation through the jungle where you're able to choose, I see all of them and I choose the best of them. You can't just choose the best of a situation, of an agreement, of a relationship, by ignoring the shadow. You have to be able to see the entire picture and then choose the highest potential, which is to deny the lower potential being so important that it would like throw the relationship off course. You guys are stepping into a really big ending this week. This is looking like a big karmic closure. The bat is a closure of karmic cycles. This is likely a cycle of relationships, especially because the last full moon was specifically, I believe, focused on like materialism and material relationships. So, let go of the fake passion. Open up the real passion. The fake passion, again, this doesn't have to be romantic. These could be friends that are just feeding you what they think you need to hear to keep you on a line. These could be colleagues that are fake, phony, like obviously so in person. That's all they're showing me, actually. Romantically, some of you might be exiting. This is gonna be all over the place. You might be exiting karmic relationships. You might be letting people go. This is also like, they're showing me the exes coming around, cycling around energetically. Like, maybe just make a list of old resentments you've been holding on to for people in your heart space, whether it's family, whether it's exes, old friends that you've had to leave along the way. Make a list of like resentments and then ask for healing and forgiveness, and just 5-10 minutes, like you can even use the Ho'oponopono prayer. Thank you. Wait, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, thank you, I love you, and just say that over and over again. And just, when you write the list, ask your higher self to step in and set the intention that this is a forgiveness list and that you're releasing all of this karmic baggage out of your heart to facilitate your own personal healing. The frog is the healing. This is the cleansing rain. Also, any body of water you can get to, a cleansing shower, a spiritual bath, a good soak, a good swim in the ocean, or a river or a stream or a brook, a self-baptism. Use the water to heal your spirit. And these were way too many, so I'm gonna ask them for one more. Actually, we're gonna go over here. One more card, Spirit. What else is our focus on for this week? And then also tie it up, because this feels like it's not as logical as I would like, but. What do you most need us to know right now? So even what I'm getting from the cards is like a bunch want to come out, but they're not coming out. So be mindful of your heart space and what you're attracting, because there are opportunities that are trying to jump into your life, that are trying to manifest in your material reality, but there's something about your subconscious that is blocking them before they make it into your reality. Obviously, as always, only take what resonates, leave the rest. The card that came out is number 11. So we got a synchronicity there, and it's the belief card. So I'm going to read it, but this is our card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's an 8-pointed star. 8 is the number of prosperity. 8 is completion, karmic ending, karmic closures, infinity, things coming back to completion, things coming back to your recollection, you changing past karmic contracts, agreements, changing how you interact, deciding to interact in a new way. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. Great. Thank you. We'll tie that whole reading together, because the Dawn one was about your connection to source through your heart and how that can be perceived as highly magnetic, highly attractive, and very seductive. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth. When you believe in your manifestations, when you believe in the unseen, when you believe that you are worthy of love and respect from source, so much so that what you want will come into your life and you'll receive it effortlessly. This is an exchange card too. It's the belief is based on our talents and our gifts. All right, there is an exchange. There's a sacred exchange. What is your offer from your heart? That offer can be your presence. It can be your love. It can be your truth when you step into a room. It can be just, I am enough as I am. It can be physical things too. It could be art, it could be writing, it could be coaching. It could be any level of business that you're in, at whatever you're doing in your career. If it lights you up, if it's really where you're talented, that's an exchange as well. All right, let me tune into belief, because they were saying that you were swatting away opportunities. You have to believe that you can receive. And what they're showing me is, as you observe through the next week, how your heart changes people in front of you, changes their interactions, changes how they look at you, changes how they show up, changes their mood, you're going to realize more of your value. As you realize your value and how valuable you are, because you're going to be seeing like direct evidence of your own energy in a room reflected by other people, you're going to be able to have more belief that you are worthy and deserving of what it is you've been manifesting or asking the universe for, because you're going to see just how powerful you are, how attractive you are. Attractive not in the superficial way, but attractive as in you're going to be in, somehow you'll end up at the right place, right time, right person. Like synchronicities happen all the time. Like you are a powerful attractor. You are magnetic. You are the center of your universe. Like they're just showing me this, the star in the center, this white star, right? This is also like you deserve the attention of your attraction, of your heart, of your purity, of your, just of your sacred heart. And again, they're circling it back. I don't know that you guys just know just how much, like when you are just authentic, unattached to an outcome and loving in your heart, most people interpret that as romantic appeal or sexual. It really is just source. It's just love without attachment. Now, here's why people translate it as being sexual, is because source, love, and power without attachment is so attractive. Who doesn't want that? Like, what people don't realize is that they can have it themselves. You don't have to go to other people for it. Like, you give that love to yourself. That unconditional love is the love for the self. And when you bring that level of a vibration, it's a really high vibration of attraction into a room, you're going to see very quickly how people will respond. People will either look like they're going to come on to you, or they'll just make eye contact. They'll like move closer towards you. You can watch even subconscious behaviors, like based on people's body language will change in front of you. And I don't know why they're making this so room oriented. It looks like a very physical encounter. Sex appeal isn't bad, it just requires discernment. Sex appeal comes with every person that is really embodying a very heightened source connection. A source connection is naturally sensual, it's naturally charismatic. You guys want to tell me more about the discernment? Oh, okay. So what they're showing me is when this is your light, right? You're carrying a flame in your heart. That flame is really bright light. When you walk into a room, depending on what's in that room, that flame could attract other flames like it. That flame could attract moths. That flame could attract succubi. You know, it's like, just pick your head up. Just look around and be like, what's going on in the room? And realize that no matter what room you walk into, you're completely safe, because if you are, I don't want to say alert, because it's not about being alert, it's just about being observant. If you're just observant and you notice things and you're not like putting your head down and being like, I don't see anything, I'm worthless, nobody knows what I am, I'm not worthy of any attention. That shit's still happening, even if you think you're not worthy of the attention. It just puts blinders on you to be able to see actually what's going on in the room. Regardless of what's going on in the room, you're always in control when you're in your heart space, when you're with source, because when you're aware, you get to choose what sort of interactions to engage with or not. Like, somebody can come up to you in theory and say, I want to dance with you. Now, if you're codependent, then you end up like dancing with them. You're like, I hate this. I feel like I have to dance with them. Oh my God. Like, and the dance is like whatever the conflict is, whatever, or whatever the arrangement is. Maybe it's not even a conflict. You're just not interested. But the reality is, when somebody approaches you with a problem, with input, with an ask, with participation in anything, you don't have to say yes. You can literally just say, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not attracted to that. Whatever that is, I'm not attracted to it. You don't have to say it. You just say, no, thank you. And I promise you, no, thank you is more than enough information. If they come back, you just say, no, thank you again. The point is, when you're observant, you have the ability to then change what is going on around you, because you can see everything that's going on around you. It's like instant karma. Like, you don't have to engage in the karmic circumstances to then have the lesson. You're literally just like, oh, I see that. I don't want to do that. That's definitely not my dance partner. That's my dance partner. Let's go over here. You know, asking for your needs, speaking your needs, claiming what you want, negotiating circumstances that you would like, saying no to things that you're just not interested in. You don't have to do anything more than that. Like, no is enough. No, thank you. I'm not interested. That's it. However they take it, whatever, is up to them. Obviously, it's easy to say yes. When you want to say yes to something, say yes. And if you're not saying yes, why aren't you saying yes to things you want? Because this is pretty black and white with the universe. When you're not saying yes to things you want, you're saying no to what you want. And when you say no to what you want, then you automatically choose the shadowed archetype, the characters that you don't want to be dancing with. So anyway, I don't know. This was a fun message. I didn't expect it to come through this way, but Spirit is always running a riot up there, and I'm always here for the show. So that's what I've got. I hope you guys enjoyed this channel. I hope you have a beautiful week. Let me know what resonated from the video and or how you practice your own self-love or self-care practice in the comments below. If you like this video, please go like it, tap the subscribe button and the bell for notifications, all the things. And if you are interested in working with me, I will leave my email below. You can contact me regarding my coaching programs, AKASHIC record sessions, and paintings. I've got some meditation albums you guys are gonna adore as well. And of course, I've got like my online programs and things like that. If you want to work with me and want to know the options, I can send you the website links. But that's what I got for you guys today. I'm gonna do a quick look through the comments because I really didn't see many. I think I had my eyes shut a lot of this stream. Okay, perfect. Oh, there weren't that many. Okay, great. Okay, great, guys. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy your week. See you soon. Peace.